The Portland Trailblazers win their fourth consecutive game and 8 of the last 9 with a 121-119 win in overtime
Dun, 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 dun.
over the Phoenix Suns last night.
Quite the game. Quite the game. First overtime game of the season.
Really?
Yeah. First OT game of the season. Haven't gotten there.
Well, I'll be
They've
damned.
gotten close a couple times. Yeah, I think they're one of the last teams to have it, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
1-0 all time.
But beyond that, number one, that Suns team, they're
Yeah.
not good.
Oh. Okay.
They're not good. Like, they have Beal, they have Durant, and they have Booker. Don't get me wrong.
Mm.
And more nights than others, they just have Durant and Booker, and who both, my God, are they incredible. Shots they hit last night were
Shot makers.
bonkers. Except for that one Kevin Durant three that hit the side of the backboard. Good gravy. What the hell was that?
There was a lot of weird that happened last night in that game where you have side of backboard, you have a behind the hoop wedgie
Mm-hmm.
that happened. You had Devin Booker thankfully missing a free throw.
Oh, look, the Blazers won this game, but boy, did the Suns fumble it.
Denny Avdia allowing those free throws to happen. That foul was the look on Denny's face. It said it all.
Yeah.
Like he was embarrassed
You're like,
that he fouled Devin Booker in that
Yeah.
situation. And
And KD and Book both had, I want to say they had combined 3 or 4 threes late in the fourth
yeah.
to basically win the game,
Well,
to put things away, and they just bricked them. And they were butt naked, wide open in the corner, which those guys never get. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal,
this is all a drop.
Kevin Durant, those guys, they never get those looks. Like,
Mhm.
because you're not helping off the strong side corner off Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
And yet the Blazers did because they got put in rotation far too often, but they didn't capitalize on those shots. And, the biggest story of the night, though, is DeAndre Ayton.
Dude, I was going to say the most surprising part might have been DeAndre Ayton going 7 of 8 from the free throw line. He's shooting like 65% from the line
Because he hasn't taken many free throws.
on the season.
Yeah.
He goes 7 of 8, and in the most critical moments, he ends up sealing the game at the free throw line. And he was a force, and he has been a force over this stretch. And this is why you can say the Blazers aren't stumbling into these wins, even though last night a lot of weird happened. They've been playing good basketball. They've won 8 of their last 9 games, which was 7 of those wins have come against teams that are currently in playoff position in either the East or the West. And it's not a fluke that you end up winning those games. And to think of the last time the Blazers won 8 of 9. Do you know when that was?
2019.
No, it was the 2020-2021
Okay.
season, the abbreviated season coming off the COVID bubble year. They won 8 of their last 9 games, or I think they lost like the second to last game, but it was right near the end of the season. They won 8 of 9 in that surge to get into the 5 seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it the 6 seed? 6. I think they were 6 seed in 2020,
It all
2021.
sticks
It was
in
the
my head.
last time they made the playoffs.
Mhm.
It was a year that, the last joy that we've had as Portland Trailblazer fans. It's very rare that you win 8 of 9 games. Hell, the last time the Blazers won 4 games in a row was the very beginning of the 2022-23 season.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And now they've done that twice in the last 9 games. They've won 4 in a row. They're actually playing good basketball. And DeAndre Ayton, my God, he was special last night.
What's interesting is he started the game, I want to say either 5 of 9 or 5 of 10. I can't remember exactly what he was. But he went 1 for 8 or 1 for his next 9. And they weren't shots that he misses. He left a bunch of shots short and off and missed. And it's just the Blazers went small for a little while, and it wasn't working because the Suns were just hunting whoever they wanted to get Kevin Durant on, whoever is the shortest player on the court, whether it's Scoot Henderson or Anthony Simons.
Seems like a good
And
plan.
honestly, I thought both of them did really well as far as to try to take away what you can, but he's 7 foot tall and releases it at the top, and there's just nothing you can do to get to that thing. And when he hits those shots, you just go, yeah. He's coming into the game last night. He was 53 points short of 30,000 for his career. Devin Booker just set the Suns' all-time scoring record last night. Like, those are 2 professional scorers. But as it pertains to DeAndre Ayton, even in spite of kind of falling off the rails a little bit, he didn't stop giving the attention to detail and effort and energy on defense. He still hit the glass incredibly hard. I mean, he comes up with a 2020 game. I mean, they needed every last ounce for him to step up and knock down those free throws. You remember?
It's huge.
Remember the last time that DeAndre Ayton had clutch free throws against was with the Phoenix Suns and the Portland Trailblazers? He was on the other side of that, and Damian Lillard told him he wasn't good enough at that moment.
Oh yeah.
Stars too bright,
Yeah.
and he choked.
That's great.
He didn't last night.
Well, Dame wasn't there to tell him he's going to choke.
I mean, but he stepped up and knocked him down. I mean, he has been, and we talked about this yesterday. He has been one of the biggest factors for them in this run.
Yeah.
Like the fact that not only can they rely on him offensively, but they can rely on him defensively. You can rely on him to secure rebounds. Like he is so key to what they are doing and letting everybody else do.
Yeah.
It's huge.
He is only the 7th Blazer ever to have a 25-point, 20-rebound game.
Yeah, it's a monster night.
The others to do it, LaMarcus Aldridge did it 5 times. Zach Randolph did it twice.
Gobble, Mr. Rebound.
Arvydas Sabonis, Buck Williams, Jerome Kersey, Yusuf Nurkic all did it once.
Wow, was that Nurk's 5x5 game against Sacramento?
He had 28 points, 20 rebounds. Let me see. 8 assists, 6 blocks.
Yeah, that's his 5x5 game.
Yeah.
It was against the Kings. Yeah, I remember that the game was bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers. God, I'm surprised Jerome didn't have more.
Jerome did it one time, and he went for 34 and 20.
Good Lord.
Mercy.
Good. He was such a monster on the glass. I would have figured he would have found a way to make that happen.
Yep. But, I mean, that kind of highlights just how rare
It's
those
rare.
occurrences
Yeah,
are.
25-20 games are monsters, man. I mean, he missed a ton of shots last night, which he doesn't normally do, but
Yeah.
he kept going.
Only, I mean, he's the 7th guy to do it, and it's only been done 12 times in franchise history.
And it's not like this team has been short on, rebounding scores.
No.
It's actually one of the things
I'm
they've done really good with.
Surprised Bill Walton wasn't on there?
Yeah.
You know, maybe Maurice Lucas.
Maybe Maurice, yeah.
Like, you know.
And even as limited as time as he played, that Greg didn't get one is kind of surprising.
Yeah. He
Even
was
because-
dominant.
I mean, because he had a
dominant.
couple games where you just went, oh, God.
This is, it feels like a fluke, but it also
He's been playing with
doesn't
this.
because they've been playing really well
Yeah.
right now. And it's not a signal or a beacon to this team turning things around, even though, like, hey, 53 and 29 might be in play. Who's to say? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they'll just win out.
They're not going to.
Oh,
play
okay.
in.
They're not going to go 53 and
They're
29.
not even going to make for the play-in because
Oh, man.
there's something you have to remember.
Mm.
The pick that they still owe the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
And if you look at where they're at standings-wise, they're just kind of in this space of, like, they're really not going to get above it, and they're really not going to get below it.
Well, that sucks.
I mean, the math just isn't mathing now. I don't think they can get down to the 5 spot.
Don't we? I mean, and this is a big issue because last night it was apparent, and it continues to be apparent on the Vancouver Ford text line 503-864-6326. It's apparent. Blazer fans aren't happy necessarily with the winning that is happening,
Mhm.
and because the signal was sent out, this year isn't about wins and losses. This win is about development,
Mhm.
and fans have done a very good job of rewiring themselves to say losses mean more.
Mhm.
This team is not playing like that.
No.
And that's why it's a really odd spot to be in, is because it's like, wait, we were told the losses are good, and now this team, the growth and development, which is what the signal was at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
it's actually
It's
happening.
And that's the thing organizationally that I've been told is, like, they're not going to – you can't tell these guys that winning matters and teach them what winning matters, and then when they start winning too much, sit them down and tell them no.
Yeah.
And you can do that with the vets, which, again, I still believe very strongly they will do. Maybe not the day after the trade deadline or after the All-Star break, but very quick afterwards.
Okay, let's get into this, though, because one thing is that if development is the key, then the young guys should be getting a lot of minutes. But it's a yes and no, and how much does the trade deadline play a factor into this? It's coming up. We're 48 hours away from it.
Yeah, less than now.
From the trade deadline, how much is that playing a role in what we're seeing from DeAndre Ayton, Jeremy Grant,
Mhm.
Anthony Simons, the likes of those guys that have been rumored to be available and movable
Sure.
assets?